Hello everybody, welcome back to Around the World in 80 Days. Well, it's not Around the World in 80 Days, it's called 80 Days. We're in Astrakhan and we're sort of, it's sort of Europe. We're not travelling around very, very fast. We're on day 22, we've not made much headway. We need to be moving. So we're in Astrakhan, where the Volga empties into the Caspian Sea. Let's go and investigate the river. Wondering what transport across the water might be found, but took one step too far and sank to my knees in the thick mud. I toppled over on my back, not from clumsiness, but reasoning that if I spread my body weight, I would reduce the depth to which I might sink. And so there I lay, like a water boatman on the surface of a pond covered in thick mud. Let's consider my options. I was floating. If I did not move, I would not sink further. I could either attempt to escape or wait for the tidal shift of the river. Let's move. I'm writhing like a snake towards dry land. Escape! But it left my jacket ruined. Oh no. Blackened with more mud down my trousers and legs, I looked as though I had lain down in the path of a newfangled Tarmacadam-ing machine. I returned to Fogg looking half dead. His expression, I believe, flickered a moment. But he said not a word. Not then, and not even when Arkhan was far behind us. So relations have deteriorated slightly, but that's okay. Let's go and have an explore. And this is what I was after. Now, I don't really want to be going all the way up there. I struck up a conversation here and there, hunting for options on how we might proceed. So I've got two options now. So we can go to Baku for £410. That arrives Thursday. This is expensive route though. So by Tuesday, that's Friday, that's Wednesday. How can I get here? Merv. Well, it looks like £410? Are you kidding? It departs tomorrow anyway. Right, okay. No, let's just stay overnight. We'll head out in the morning. Before going to bed, let's have a couple of hours walking around. Found a charming Afghan errand boy who was looking for a child, whom I located hiding behind the heap of cloth near clockmakers. The errand boy thanked me as we talked, remarked that merchants in Muscat will pay a huge amount for candles, scented from rose from Bandar Abbas. I assured him we're unlikely to head that way, at which he nodded. I said something similar once upon a time, but now look at me. And he's a beggar. So let's try and depart. Can we depart? Can we go? £400. It's uncomfortable. Cold weather. Rough seas. We're off. Look at that device. It's a cracker, isn't it? It's a thing and a half. Hydrofall across the Caspian Sea was a small affair run by one Alexander Sedlov, a keener and more enthusiastic amateur sailor than I have ever encountered. "This is your ship?" I asked as we boarded and stowed the luggage away. He patted the side rail of the craft, which wobbled. "An ex-military vessel my cousin acquired," he replied proudly. "I used to be a clerk, but the lure of the waves took me by the throat and never let go." He demonstrated with one hand around my neck, lunging. Now this is all I do. Never set foot on dry land. Sea legs are my only legs." Looked at his legs, but saw nothing unusual about them. Then he threw the switch on the engine, and we were hurled across the water. Literally hurled, as though standing aboard a spinning discus as it leaves the athlete's hand. "Greetings, Captain Sedlov. Hold on tight now. One can also travel this way to Tehran, I understand. You mentioned boats. I've been told you can get to Port Royal from Port-au-Prince aboard the Hispaniola." Okay. Let's. We don't want to go in that way, do we? Maybe Kabul. Well, I don't know where that is. Let's have a look at that. Is it possible to go from Tehran to Hail? Did you realize the merchants in Riyadh will pay fantastic amounts of demijohns of olive from home? Let's have a look at that? Is it possible to go from Tehran to Baghdad? No idea, but now Baghdad is on the border of the Ottoman Empire and their Persian allies. For Lanini hydrofoil. The hydrofoil's wild motion did not slow. Is it meant to rotate this way? I shouted over the crashing waves and roaring engine. Sedlov nodded. Isn't it invigorating? I find it nauseating. Oh, you're what they call a landlubber, he replied cheerfully. There's something a little loose about the suspension, true, but I don't find it too much a difficulty. I feel we'll sink. Never, he boomed. Then, just as it appeared things could not get any worse, he pulled out a bottle of vodka and began to sing. Excellent. He's going to get drunk. Oh, 72. By the second day, the broken suspension was all I could think about. None of us enjoyed any sleep, and while Alexander kept his spirits alive, with vodka-laced coffee, myself and Monsieur Fogg were at our wits' end. I'm not going to try and take... I'm sure he's the expert. I'm going to try and sleep, but could not. After several hours, we came within sight of Baku, and we raised a ragged cheer, as though we had survived a shipwreck. We put into land, and all but ran for our lives. Yes it is. You're telling me, sir. There seems to be no departures today. We should explore a little. Right, well, first thing is, I need to go to the bank, mate. We must once again make a demand upon the bank, I fear, he declared. I regarded the manager. He's a stocky, sweaty woman who met us with practiced enthusiasm. We'd like to take our funds, we were told. It may take a few days. It's Thursday, isn't it? Let's wait till Monday. We require £1,500. We need to go to London branch. Return on Monday to collect your funds. Can we sell anything? No, I really want all those. Do we need anything? Of interest to wistful, suspicious, foreign and sea dog types. Valuable in Kabul, Merv and Astrakhan. Worth something in Quetta. English ones warmer. Interest to stubborn, sour and prim. Settles the stomach on easy seas. I have to wait 4 days for money. I'm going to pass the night. We're going to have a wander around. It's a city founded upon oil. In the shadow of the Romana Tower, we watched a line of peasants operating a hand pump, extracting oil seemingly from the ground itself. They seemed poor, and yet each held black gold in their hands. I could not believe all of these peasants had someone to sell their oil to. Indeed, there could be no local market at all. I asked a passerby why they queued. The first patch of our land has been sold off, she answered gloomily. We are stockpiling before it becomes illegal to take from the oil well. As I walked away from the oil well, I felt curiously sticky, and later that evening I found a dark, shimmering tear in the corner of my eye. Oil spreads everywhere in Baku. So let's explore again, because we're going to be here a few days. I've found some new routes. My ears open, investigating the various ways in which we might continue. Can I depart? It's 150 quid. It arrived today. We're going. The ginger tablets should help. There we go. We're going. We're not hanging about. It's day 25. We haven't travelled far at all. By contrast to Sedlov's hydrofoil, the Cross-Caspian ferry was like a plush, cushioned carriage, surrounded by all modern conveniences. Let's stand at the rail. Watching the scenery slowly crawl past, enjoying the fresh, if chill, air. The landscape here is so wild and vast, it's hard to believe it's inhabited, but of course, almost everywhere is home to someone. Ooh, 56. We need to cheer him up, don't we? We need to wire London for funds as soon as we find a bank. I'm sure they will be prompt. Let's pamper him a bit. Let's make him happy. A shaped moustache, excellent. Towards the end of the day, we puffed into sight of the fort of Krasnovsk, and as if to welcome us, a gun cracked a shell across the water. Brilliant. Boom! We'll have to sleep here and explore in the morning. Beg? Yeah, I'm going to beg for money overnight while he sleeps. 266 quid. We had, it seemed, no alternative. We took to the streets. I didn't want to tell him. Monsieur Fogg's hat tipped upside down on the ground. My master's detachment was out in full force, and I think that prevented us from receiving much aid. We did our best to look destitute and in need of sympathy. We finished the day with £80 in our pockets. Funds have gone up. Right, I'm going to explore. 47 we're on, look at that. Krasnovodsk was a military fort and little else. A few Turkmen peasants lived in the shadow in the manner of medieval serfs, but they were largely ignored by the occupying Russian forces. We strolled up to the gates of the fort and asked to be allowed in, or we explored the huts. Let's explore the huts around the fort and along the edge of the lake, and found the people to be suspicious of foreigners. Oh, brilliant. And wary of generosity. Clearly, ever since the arrival of the 1st Battalion of soldiers 3 years before, they'd been expecting the worst. The only point of real interest for us was the train station, where a military train shipped Tsarist soldiers further east into Afghanistan. The whole line had been built to infuriate the Persian Empire, or I did not like our chances finding a berth. Let's try and do that. And the British too have watched their northern frontier jealousy. I was not a little worried about our welcome. And let's try and find... They don't like British, and he's British and I'm French. I'm attempting to find alternative transport. Came up with nothing apart from one goat herd. Offered me a cart ride to another village. It did not seem a much better option, so I thanked him and left him to his goats. We would have no choice but to walk up to the station the next morning and try our luck. So let's sleep on it. And I think actually we're going to sleep on it. I'm going to leave this, and this will be the end of episode 5, I think. I hope you're enjoying it. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. If you like the channel, please subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. I've been Backblast. See you next time.